basement. Level vibes with another one. Straight up, blackness aye. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, we have to gather round, grab a seat and sit down, pay attention. Education, liberation, we have to stand strong. Benskop upon the radio, lively up the program. Everybody call somebody and let them turn and tune and pon the radio and catch the boom song. We boom it up already, we have to boom it up again. Expose and reveal him. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop.
This is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm, located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you, so call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
Source. Okay, well, maybe the Chinese company that did not get the agreement that they wanted here, maybe they're the ones who told you, or it could be just a fictitious thing.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jerome?
Su? Oh, Su. My relationship? Nothing. He's a tenant in my...
Mr. Watts, he is armed himself shots. Shots, watch it, tear gas. Light rounds. Also, I can see that.
just for Quindon!
The man is a boxer, man. Why can't put in a boxer, man, to do that? But since my cousin there, no, you come on the East Coast.
You listen to me.
Right? No, you come on the East Coast.
You listen to me.
You gotta listen to me too, man.
I am listening to
Right? Now, I see you on the East Coast. The day when they get a protest of them, the next day, that's when you see one bigger heads come up to talk to my family. Right? And that's bad. If you didn't do a protest, you want to see nobody for justice. You see? I'm not holding back nothing. I'm not holding back nothing. I just need justice for my family. I get visitors all of a sudden. All of a sudden, you all have visitors. This is Joker. Who is that Joker? That piece of plum. They know who they deliver to.
Guyana really nice. Guyana. It's a nice place.
All right. Hey, guess what? Good evening. My name is Mark Benchap. Glad we were able to be in the park. Sorry. Glad we were able to be next to the playground. This is a playground. This is a playground, and we're just showing you guys this to let all of you know that the PPPC, we're repeating, I guess you guys know by now that the PPPC is basically trying to go around the country, and they're targeting 3 particular townships. Linden, and we got to be very careful. You can't be complacent. You can't sit by and say, oh, we got this. You got to go out there. You got to do the groundworks. You can't wait until the last minute. You can't wait until the 11th of June and then say you're going to head out there to do the groundworks. You cannot do that. Otherwise, I repeat, can't eat your dinner. All right, so let's begin. Let's. What is it that we can talk about? We want to talk about, what is it? The Marriott Hotel. Back again to the same person. Remember, Jack Gill said 90 million? Well, this guy, their friends, bid 90 million. And they are determined to give this to their friend. They know why. They're apparently we can assume that lots and lots of kickbacks and all these manner of things. They want the Marriott to become a milking cow. So on the backs of hardworking Guyanese taxpayers, this is what is happening in the country right now. Everything is being sold out. Every single thing. And now they're saying that this guy, this American guy, he was under investigations, all manner of different things, question marks, mind you, but then again, that's the nature of the PPPC. They don't care who it is. They just sell Guyana out. They sell Guyana out. It's not bad to have foreign investors, right? And foreign investments, but the investors got to be above board. They've got to be above board. And apparently, Jack Deere, they bent on ensuring that this particular guy gets the deal. And you are going to hear sooner rather than later that they have accepted the bid. They have accepted the bid, and this is it. That's all. That's all we wish to say on that. What else is happening? Well, we got to keep an eye on this this situation with the insurance. We've got to keep an eye on it. It's in appellate courts right now, and this stay was actually done by Justice Rishi Prasad. Justice Rishi Prasad. And now I say all of this. Look, this is not to attack Justice Rishi Prasad in any way, shape, or form. However, let us not forget that Justice Prasad, during the course of the elections and the petitions and so forth, Justice Prasad, seemed to always have this affection for the PPP. And whenever a decision was made, almost 100% of times, it's always in favor of the PPP. So here's what, and if they are going to go by law, then the appellate court should, the ruling of the appellate court should be no different than the ruling of Justice Sandy Kisoon, I believe. It should be no difference, absolutely nothing, no difference at all with regards to those two rulings. Now, we've got to keep an eye on Rishi Prasad, Justice Prasad. You know, I was a bit uncomfortable with his rulings during the course of the elections and the petitions and so forth and so on. But I'm not going to be like Anil Nandalal and rush out to attack and try to all sorts of personal attacks on the judge and Justice Rishi Prasad. I'm not going to do that. But I'm just saying to you guys that the rulings, his past rulings have, for the most part, been favorable to the PPP. And so this whole stay, basically saying, look, appellate court judge declines request by EPA for a stay of oil insurance order. You stay the order pending the outcome of the appellate case right now. And so we've got to be careful with this decision. Sorry about that. We've got to be careful with this decision. Date set for arguments on preliminary matter. But kudos to Justice Rishi Prasad, though, for not allowing the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, to get its way. Kudos to Justice Rishi Prasad. But I want him to continue to be consistent as it pertains to ruling in favor of the Constitution and, of course, in favor of the people of Guyana. What else has happened in Guyana? These wanted folks have surrendered. They have surrendered. But here is what's happening. They have surrendered, but the police force, regardless of who these are, I don't know who these folks are, but the police force, they seem to be operating political orders. That's one. Political orders and also, sorry about that, political orders. And if they know that they can contact these individuals, if they know that they can go to these individuals' homes and arrest them, instead of just not doing that, but putting wanted bulletins out for individuals, it is totally uncalled for, should not be the order of the day. And so the Guyana police force needs to stop this nonsense. They need to go and arrest the individuals. Now, if you can't find individuals, then you issue arrest warrants or wanted bulletins or whatever. But who they should be issuing wanted bulletins for, they don't. But outside of that, I noticed here, ethnicity, they say male East Indian. Male East Indian. Had it been a person of African descent, you would have here, we would have been seeing male Negro. Male Negro. Since when Negro is an ethnicity? I don't know, something is wrong, man. Negro is an ethnicity. Ethnicity, Negro. Just look out for the next person of African descent that is wanted. They are going to put male Negro. Male Negro. It's got to stop. At some point in time, it's got to stop. Good evening to all of you guys. We should have been hearing from the deputy mayor of New Amsterdam, Mr. Wainwright. Our operator Lemon has indicated that he's not yet with us, and so we will await his arrival. Oops, the operator has gone mad. Look at what they who's this lady? I haven't heard about her for a while, and you could tell when these people making lots and lots of monies, right? They don't care about the ordinary people. They're just making money. Whatever ways, they're just making money. And this is Priya Manikchan. Priya Manikchan says nothing to suggest a leak of CSEC math papers occurred in Guyana. That is according to Priya Manik-Chan. And with a straight face, she expects us to believe her. She expects us to believe her. But I'll tell you guys this here, with a straight face, I do not believe her. And I know all of you do not believe her. How could you believe somebody like her, a propagandist? And remember, oops, bye-bye. U.S. Ambassador, and I'm talking about Sarah Ann Lynch, the U.S. Ambassador, the outgoing U.S. Ambassador, has a nice big farewell in a few hours. And guess who cannot go? Guess who is not invited? Guess who cannot go onto the compound of the U.S. Ambassador's residence in Guyana? Priya Manik-Chan. She just cannot go there. She cannot, she's not allowed, and this has been the case for a while. She cannot go there at all. She just cannot go there at all. Now, this is interesting. Governor Hochul, that's the governor of New York, New York, not New York City, New York governor, apparently Nikki Haley, you guys know Nikki, right? Nikki wants to run for president. That's out of South Carolina, Nikki. And so Nikki is suggesting that Daniel Penny be pardoned. Daniel is the military guy, the special force guy that was actually charged with manslaughter for choking to death that Michael Jackson impersonator out in New York City. And so Nikki Haley is saying that the governor of New York should pardon this guy. And the governor of New York says, look here, wait a minute. It works after someone's been convicted of a crime. It works after someone has been convicted of a crime. You can't just pardon someone if they haven't been convicted. You can order their released, which is, where I'm getting at with that. Because a lot of the trench crappos seem not to understand what a pardon is. You can only pardon someone if they have been convicted of a crime. Say no more. All right, here, guess what? I want to head straight to New Amsterdam right now. So thank you so much. Share the link. Let me see some of your comments. Rita Clark, I got you there. I know exactly what you're saying. Good evening to all of you. Michelle Justice, we're looking for justice in Guyana. And I'll tell you guys about a young man, Guyanese connection, who's been appointed a director, I believe, of governmental affairs at the New York's Attorney General's office. Yes, Harold Miller. Congratulations to Harold Miller. All right, we'll probably have a few chats with Harold sometime soon, sometime in the very, very near future. But before that, let's head straight to New Amsterdam. But before we go to New Amsterdam, I see here Commissioner Cole. We've got to get Commissioner Cole here too. Commissioner Cole says the Guyana Association of Women's Lawyer takes this opportunity to remind members of the public that the members of the judiciary should be allowed to independently perform their functions. Consequently, any disparaging remarks or attacks, whether personal or otherwise, and the organization is actually hitting out at that Nimakaram, that Katahar, that Korhi, Anil. These people, I don't know. Look, the deputy mayor of New Amsterdam is with me right now. And let me introduce him. For some of you who don't know him, probably have never seen him before, here is the deputy mayor. So I want to be at my best behavior. Good evening. How are you, sir?
Hi, Mr. Benchcop. Good evening. Good evening, viewers. And thank you for having me on this program this evening.
Yeah, we're glad that you're on here. We want to talk about New Amsterdam. It seems as though that a particular political party and their dictators want to kidnap everybody in New Amsterdam, capture everybody in New Amsterdam, and enslave them. But the majority of the people have been saying that it is not going to happen. Before we get into all of that, tell us a little bit about who Wainwright McIntosh is, the current deputy mayor of the Tongue of New Amsterdam. Tell us a little bit about yourself, sir.
Thank you so much. Wainwright McIntosh, who is this individual? Wainwright McIntosh is New Amsterdamer by birth, born and bred, grew up in 46 Stanley Town, went to school in the town of New Amsterdam, where I would have had my formal education before moving on to the Cyril Potter College of Education, then to the University of Guyana. I serve in many capacities. One such was that of head teacher of at least two primary schools before I was promoted to the Department of Education to serve my country as an education officer in the area of special education needs.
Family-wise?
Family-wise, Wainwright McIntosh, she is married to Shoba McIntosh, two beautiful children coming out of this union, Shuwain and Shuwaina. Wainwright happens to be a community activist who championed the cause and rights of persons within his community. Wainwright McIntosh is a very much outgoing person. While given the opportunity to serve this beautiful town of ours as the deputy mayor, Mr. McIntosh is not the deputy mayor for one section of society, but the deputy mayor of all of New Amsterdam. As a professional, as an educator, I believe education is the key to success. I believe my motto is actually, I believe in building strong men, strong children, than to repair broken men. And that is coming out from one Frederick Douglass. It is better to build strong children than to repair broken men. My mantra as an educator.
Absolutely, and that's a good mantra indeed. It sounds as though that you're a product of mass games.
Well, I love the old-time religion. Yes.
You recall mass games, or you're a little younger to remember what mass games used to be, when all of the little children, all of them, whether it's BHS, Winifred Gaskin, Multi, you're probably a few years younger when mass games came into being.
Yes, but I was told of the mass games.
You were told.
Yes. Just today, while I was on duty, I was actually on the upper quarantine. I had a wonderful cluster session with some teachers at the 56th primary school, and I was recalling my childhood experience in the classroom, where Miss Evelyn Pluck used to had us reading under that big tree in the compound of the St. Aloysius Primary School. Additionally, I recall the days when we used to be playing Chinese, Saul Pass. Those are all things of the past.
Absolutely. The kids are now playing Roblox, all kind of thing, and this Nintendo stuff and Xbox. It's Xbox generation. But quickly, as we look at we have sufficient time. We want you to talk a little bit about what is happening in New Amsterdam and the fact that the PPP regime, the installed PPP regime, have been stifling the township of monies in terms of subventions and all manner of things, and the economic stagnation of the township. Some people might be of the view that you guys aren't doing anything. You have the money and you're not spending it on cleaning drainage and emptying the garbage and make the market look as nice as they used to look, and all these manner of things. Before we get to all of that, because I want you to expose the PPP tonight for who they are, very vindictive bunch of individuals, lying pack of wolves. I want you to take us back when New Amsterdam was a beautiful town, beautiful in a sense, Main Street, Pitt Street, you name it, all over beautiful. Talk to us a little bit about the hospital up the street that broken down under the PPP. Talk to us about the market that used to be like a New York City market back in the days. Talk to us before we get into the real political ricketing, so to speak. Remind us about those days.
Yes. We can first start with the drainage system, where the little boys and girls were afforded the opportunity on their way home from school or on the way to school. They could have actually walked in those drains and get to school. Why? Because the drains back then, they were well maintained, well kept. Actually, the workers of the New Amsterdam municipality used to be using the bathroom in those days to clean and maintain the drainage and irrigation system. And while you make reference to the golden years of New Amsterdam, in my view, as a citizen of New Amsterdam, as a child growing up, those were the days when the New Amsterdam mayor and town council, when we were in charge of electricity, water, and the other utilities, right? Electricity and water. Back then, the municipality had direct control of those services. After those glorious years, when we started to go down Dooms Avenue, was when the responsibility of those services were taken away from the mayor and town council of New Amsterdam. And one point to note, those were all revenue generating agencies.
We just, Mr. Deputy Mayor, sorry for the introduction.
Yes.
They were taking away these things that generated monies and so forth for the city that would have been able to maintain the city were taken away under the PPPC regime.
That is correct.
That is
correct.
Continue,
right?
sir.
So, citizen needs to understand the history behind from where the New Amsterdam municipality, where we were many decades ago, leading up to this new dispensation, 2023. And so when those responsibility in terms of utility services were taken away, actually what it would have done, it would have crippled the mayor and town council of New Amsterdam.
Do you think, Mr. Deputy Mayor, that it was a deliberate attempt on the part of the PPP, a deliberate act on the part of the PPP to take these revenue-making things away from the town council in order to stifle the town council because they could not have gotten control of it? Do you see that as a vindictive move?
Well, it is a vindictive move. As a semi-autonomous local democratic organ, right? It is or can be considered as a vindictive move, like the bauxite industry, where hundreds of bauxite workers, or thousands rather, were sent home.
Exactly. Now, let me ask you, how much of a severe impact economically this has had on the township of New Amsterdam, the people of New Amsterdam, and so forth and so on, as a result of that vindictive move by the PPPC?
Well, it has incurred significant impact, which leave the municipality to just depend on the mere rates and taxes and the annual subvention. And when we look at the subvention currently, I know prior to now, the subvention was, I'm thinking it was around $16 million annually. Now, I assume the deputy mayor's position in the year 2018, from 2018 to now, I'm serving this beautiful township of ours as the deputy mayor of New Amsterdam. And I was taking notes all along as a child growing up in this town. I can remember under the stewardship of the then our ex-mayor, Claude Henry, there was this one time where the government of the day wanted to turn the New Amsterdam municipality into an interim management committee What does that mean? Interim management committee, meaning the government of the day, the PPP government, will have full control, maximum control of the municipality and all the 7 constituencies throughout the township. Interim management committees, IMCs. So back then, the then mayor and councillor, I was not even a councillor then, but I was paying attention. And so the then mayor back then and councillors, they put up a good fight. Now, as a citizen back then, Mark, I used to be frowning at the whole concept of local government, and I was wondering why the mayor and town council, from an outside point of view, why they seem not to be able to handle the business of the town, right? But coming into the arena, I was able to learn so much more. So it is far different, Mark, from an outsider's point of view, looking in, as opposed to when you're in, looking out. Now, tell me this. If we were to look at the resuscitation of the drainage structure throughout the township, in my estimation, we're talking over $250 million, right? $250 million versus $18 million annually, what we receive as a subvention, right? So taking away those services, back to the point, taking away those basic services, I think it's a deliberate attempt because the municipality now becomes financially weak.
And that's and they do that, Mr. Deputy Mayor. They do that so that you guys can appear as being incompetent, that you can't run a city, you can't do this. And that is what they're currently attempting to do. And barefaced to it is to say, look at these guys. They can't run New Amsterdam. They can't run this township. And therefore, they want people to go out and vote for them. Not knowing that it is a trap, not knowing that it is a trick. One of your colleagues, Councillor Kirk Fraser, is saying here the PPP does not appreciate local government elections. They are all power drunk. We know this for a fact because for 21 plus years, they refused to hold local government elections. But like you have said earlier, they wanted to install an IMC, which is an interim management committee, so that they can get control. They tried it in Linden, they tried it in Georgetown, they tried it in New Amsterdam, they did it in Rose Hall, they did it in Corriverton. And so, well, they didn't do it in Corriverton because at that time there was the mayor there, Roy Bagenat, and so they didn't touch Corriverton, mind you, because
yes, I remembered right.
Yeah, and so it's all about control for them. And I want the people from New Amsterdam who are going to be going out to vote, some of them who have been wearing the red T-shirts, some of them who have gotten 5,000, 10,000 a box of food or whatever, I sympathize with them. I want them to throw those T-shirts away. Don't eat the food because you might get belly walk or something like that, we call it. Now, talk to our people. You are there on the ground right now. What is the mood like? Because the perception the PPP would want to give is that so many people are accepting and wearing the red T-shirts. That's a myth, isn't it? Talk to us, please.
Yes. Just before I take on your point, Mark.
Sure.
In response to the councillor there, Councillor Kirk Fraser, right? What our people need to understand: local democracy. The power is in the hands of the citizens. Local democracy spells power in the hands of every citizen, right? So using this platform, I want to take the opportunity to shed some clarity. Now, on the ground, literacy is a very important factor in life. All right? And so on the ground, people are seeing clearly what's happening. Persons are not happy within this township of New Amsterdam, right? And so we have to expose the truth.
Now, let me ask you this, Mr. Deputy Mayor. Two reasons why persons are not happy. I know of many reasons because I went through that township. I did a lot of programs out there in Angois Avenue, in Priman's Irvin, and so forth with the Ben Shop Foundation. So I know the township very well. But now we're talking about what are two things that the people are not comfortable with, please?
All right. Now, the deception. The deception is what persons are not happy about. In particularly, as you know, one of our former serving mayors of New Amsterdam and former member of parliament, Ms. Pilgrim.
Oh, no, you're not allowed to. We don't do that. We don't do that here. We don't do that here unless we basically put her photo up so that people could know exactly who we're talking about. And you're talking about this woman here, right?
Yes, well, persons are not happy with the steps taken.
And we can understand why persons are not happy with the steps taken. We can understand why persons are not happy with that individual, because that individual has been the laziest mayor ever in New Amsterdam. That individual has been the laziest member of parliament ever to have existed in the history of Guyana. So that person doesn't bring a lot of power. That person doesn't have much influence at all. And we know this, Mr. McIntosh, right?
Correct.
Let's get back to talk about two things, though. Two things. Not an irrelevant thing. Two things. Go ahead.
All right. So persons are not too happy with the neglect of the township of New Amsterdam coming under the PPP stewardship. They're not happy at all. One signature point to note, Mark, is this. It's the failure to review the voters' lists. The failure to review the voters' lists. Persons are disgruntled with this step taken, and the mere fact that the government is moving forward, or GCOM rather, is moving forward with the local government elections without the verification or a new voters list, right?
That's one. They are upset about that. But what about, because I know the councillors yourself, you guys are very busy all over New Amsterdam now, all over. How optimistic are they, the people of New Amsterdam, that once they go out and vote, their votes will be counted? How optimistic are they?
They are very optimistic. They are very optimistic. And on that note, I would like to thank our supporters, the residents who embrace the truth and nothing but the truth, right? We thank you for your support over the years, and the current serving councillors of the New Amsterdam municipality. We will continue to champion the cause of persons in every constituency within this township of New Amsterdam.
And we got comments coming from Anthony Arjun. Anthony Arjun is saying that we have to come out and vote a heartless government out. LGE, in other words, do not take control of the township. Lots and lots of ordinary folks, lots and lots of folks out there in New Amsterdam are upset with the PPP, and they are going to go out and vote in their numbers. Are you getting that feeling? Are you getting that vibes on the ground, Mr. Deputy?
Yes, that is the vibes we're getting on the ground. Every single day we are out there in various parts of the town of New Amsterdam, talking and interacting with the general citizenry of the town of New Amsterdam. And on a daily basis, residents will they continue to express their dissatisfaction with what's happening throughout the township.
Look, we got one of your councillors here, Polly Ann Scholes, who has graced us with her presence some time back, last week or so forth, is saying, we are on the ground every day. And I see that. I see that
That's
you guys
correct.
are on the ground every day. You know what? You know what I want to see after, because there's no way that the PPP is going to grab New Amsterdam. After you guys win this elections again, and you're back in there, you guys are back in there to serve the people of New Amsterdam, I will be watching you guys every single day, because I want to see you guys work 10 times harder than you're working right now. What are two things you guys are campaigning on right now, Mr. Deputy Mayor? Talk to us about that.
All right. One of the things we as a part of our campaign manifesto, right? We recognize the need. We recognize the need to have to create and maintain safe spaces throughout our township, which would serve as or for the single purpose of engaging residents regularly on a monthly basis, right? What I recognize is this, Mark. In order to bridge that gap, persons must understand what's happening on the ground floor, what's happening as it relates to the New Amsterdam municipality. And so, to my view, where we went lacking is in the area of PR. So, moving forward, we want to foster that relationship among citizens, where citizens actually will make themselves available to make certain important decisions as it relates to the New Amsterdam municipality and the general township. All right? And so it must be a multi-stakeholder involvement in order for us to move the tongue of New Amsterdam forward.
Engaging the people, let the people know
Engaging
that
the people, right?
that they have a council that they can approach, they have a mayor they can approach, they have a deputy mayor, they have the councillors that are there, are busy looking after their concerns. I like that, and I'll be holding you guys accountable. I'll be holding you guys to that.
Collaboration with all stakeholders, and this include NGOs, faith-based organizations, the private sector, and of course, central government.
How would you guys, because central government will continue to be vindictive, because they would feel that if they give you guys this subvention, 200 million, 300 million, $500 million or whatever, that you guys are going to use up the subvention and do works around the township and look good. And so I want the citizens to know, those who are watching this program to know, that is why this central government run by this installed PPP regime, they are being vindictive. They're stifling the township. They're stifling Linden. They're stifling Georgetown. They're stifling New Amsterdam and so forth, because they don't want to release the money. They want you guys to go down on your knees and beg for the monies, and then they give you guys a little crumbs. But they do not want to release the money, because if they do, you guys are going to clean the drains. You guys are going to get the markets done. You guys are going to get the garbage out on a timely basis and so forth. And so they're holding back all of that to make you guys look bad. But how do you guys survive in terms of the city, cleaning the city?
We, in terms of maintaining and cleaning the city, we just rely, as we're saying, Mark, we rely on $18 million subvention annually. This is
$18 million. One second, Mr. Deputy Mayor. 1 second, please, sir, with all due respect.
Sure.
$18 million to clean the drains, to clean trenches, to clean the markets, to clean the streets, to empty the garbage. 18 million?
18 million.
Continue, sir.
And I want to share this with you quickly. I would have had the greatest culture shock ever going into the local government arena as it relates to budgeting. While the treasurer would put forward a budget, let us say $200 million, right? That $200 million, it's actually based on projection, what the revenue collection will be like for the ensuing year. Now, in actuality, the municipality, apart from the subvention, rely heavily on the rates and taxes. Now, I know for a fact persons would have been murmuring, oh, the rates and taxes, it would have increased to 100%. Now, in most instances, this 100% constitutes, in some cases, $5,000 annually. In some cases, $12,000 annually for residential and so on. If we to measure in terms of garbage collection, let us say $3,000 a month. One private collector would charge $3,000 a month. 12 trees store to $6,000 a year for one bin. And we have citizens paying that, right? Versus paying the rates and taxes for $12,000 annually. Versus in some cases, we have business people in the tongue of New Amsterdam, big buildings, paying $5,000 annually. Why? Because of the project where we were pursuing to have all the buildings evaluated to the current market value, which will enable the municipality to collect its fair share of taxes, which will go back into the community to develop this beautiful tongue of ours. But instead, what we're having, the 100%, may sound good in the ears, but on paper, the 100% rates and taxes increase is not anything substantial in keeping with the 21st century.
Certainly nothing substantial indeed. 50 minutes after
Right.
9 o'clock, we have the deputy mayor with us. Deputy Wainwright McIntosh is with us. We have Suresh Prasad is saying, shame on the PPP. They help only friends and family. Again, I agree with you, Suresh Prasad. Shame on the PPP. They only help friends and family. Mr. Deputy Mayor, what the rates and taxes, we know in Georgetown, lots of big businessmen, some of them are part of the private sector commission, and even government, the ministries, they owe hundreds of millions of dollars in rates and taxes in Georgetown. What's it like in New Amsterdam with those people who owe rates and taxes? I'm talking about government entities and the private sector businessmen and so forth. Is it a heck of a lot?
It's pretty much the same, Mark. It's pretty much the same. And so the Treasury's Department would have the Herculean task of actually running behind these taxpayers just to ensure they honor their tax obligations. In instances, just to receive an income, many of these persons who are willing, once they're willing, they come forward, they're placed on a contractual agreement, meaning in that if they cannot pay the full sum owed over the period or many years, they enter into a contractual agreement where they will be paying bits and pieces of monies on the rates and taxes.
And that, Mr. Deputy Mayor, that includes government ministries that owe monies. Central government.
Extent, yes.
Interesting. When was the last time you guys got a nice subvention from central government to take care of the residents? Because central government's money is not the PPP's money. It is taxpayers' money. And so they're obligated to release the subvention to the township. But what the PPP wants to do is to hold on to those, to the subvention and have you guys beg as though, it is their money. But when was the last time you guys got some good set of money to clean this city of Georgetown, New Amsterdam? Sorry.
What constitutes a good set of money? Mark, today,
Half a billion, because the township is not anything easy to clean. You got to clean. People got to live in a nice, clean environment. The drains got to be clean. The garbage got to be sent out. People, private investors, and I'm not even sure why the township doesn't have 2 or 3 garbage trucks of its own, so that you guys can bring in more garbage collectors there at the city council level, and you generate that money. So instead of spending $100 million for private garbage contractors, the city could be able to generate that money, make that money, save it as well, and do more with it for the city. But
definitely.
I don't know.
To date, we would have received $9 million subvention for the year. 9 out of 18 million.
That's a lot of money. Kudos. Yep. This is what, and I'm clapping, I'm being facetious, because this is how the PPP wants to insult the residents of New Amsterdam, to give you guys crumbs. A township like New Amsterdam, give you guys crumbs and expect miracles to happen. Shame on the PPP regime. Go ahead.
Out of this 9 million, from this year's subvention, Mark, we have to be doing streets. 3 streets were earmarked for this year's subvention, right? 3 streets. Rehabilitation work to 38 Stanleytown. Rehabilitation work in Cadarsville, right? Rehabilitation work in one other area in terms of the street, right? And the subvention would be finished.
And they want you guys to clean the cemetery. They want you guys to go on the streets and clean. They want for $9 million. Again, this is how vindictive, this is how corrupt the PPPC regime is. They stifle the township. They stifle the people in New Amsterdam. And then when you guys can't perform, then they put their hands up and say, you see, they are incompetent. And I want the listeners to understand exactly what happens, the vindictive politics of the PPP. How do you guys get paid, man? Talk to us about that. How are the councillors being paid?
First of all, I'm happy for this question, Mark. I'm very happy. And that is why one of our campaign mantra is monthly television and radio programs and social media platforms, which will be geared at sensitizing citizens. Now, first of all, councillors do not, and I want to say this categorically clear, councillors do not receive salaries from the New Amsterdam municipality. Councillors receive a stipend.
How much is that stipend?
$19,000 a month.
And that's about $95 per month as councillors.
As councillors.
Stipend. In 2023, you guys receive stipends. The mayor probably got what? And the deputy mayor, you probably got what? 400, 500,000 a month?
I wish. Now,
it's a shame.
The mayor,
it's a
for
shame.
the mayor, I can say for the deputy mayor's stipend, put my stipend coming from the New Amsterdam municipality, and that check coming from the local government commission does not reach $90,000. It does not.
$79,000 you guys get. It's a shame and a disgrace. Things have got to change, man. The local government laws have to be reformed. And one of the things that I've been fighting for is for the people to be able to elect their own mayors. The mayor become the chief executive officer of all the towns in Guyana. We've got to move with the times. You guys got to be properly paid. Our councillors, hardworking councillors. They got some lazy councillors too, not just in New Amsterdam and Georgetown, all over. But they got some hard-working ones, and all deserve to be paid properly.
I support that claim.
And we also want competent and hard-working councillors and deputy mayors and so forth and so on. That's why I want to make this pledge here, Mr. Deputy Mayor. Once the and there's no question about it. The coalition APNU PNC will remain in control of New Amsterdam, Georgetown, Linden, Bartica, and so forth. And as per the folks out in New Amsterdam, I give you guys a platform here every week to talk to the mayor, talk to the council of New Amsterdam, to come and let us see and hear the type of works that you guys are doing in New Amsterdam. You have no complaints about PR and so forth. Come over to us. We will give you guys, even if it's free, even if at the end of the day you guys want to throw something in the bucket, as we say, a donation, we'll accept that. But this platform is free for you guys.
And thank you so much. Another thing, another area we're campaigning on is we will continue under the APNU banner to enhance and maintain the drainage structure. We will continue. It is an understatement to say the New Amsterdam municipality is not doing anything, but we can do so much with that little resources we have. Presently, in the area of garbage collection, we working assiduously hard in that area, and we also pleading with citizens to stop littering.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Mayor, Deputy Mayor, please. You guys don't own a garbage truck in the New Amsterdam City Council, do you?
Yes, last year's subvention, we were able to procure 3 compactor trucks. Out of the 3, 1 was recently commissioned because that truck would have arrived in Guyana, and it is already into the community serving the residents' bin.
Fair enough.
We
and
are
the other 2 are not there yet.
Yes, but we are awaiting the arrival of the other 2, which will complement our fleet of garbage trucks, which will speak to enhance collection of our residents' garbage.
Good. And let me ask you, with regards to private garbage collectors now, what's the annual payment towards that?
The annual payment?
Yeah.
The annual payment for the private contractors to the municipality, that is the question?
Yeah, garbage collector, garbage trucks.
It's about a little over 100,000, which speaks to maybe roughly $500, 520 US. Roughly, that's a rough average.
That's per annual or per month?
Annual.
500? No, I'm talking about garbage truck collectors, because I know in Georgetown it's about $100-200 million. Garbage collectors.
Okay.
The garbage truck. So probably, I hope you probably.
Well, I have to do some research on that, but
it certainly can be 500 Guyana dollar. US.
No, US, right? Which roughly is about 120,000 a year. I'm thinking those private contractors will pay to the municipality. But I will do some research.
Okay, I got you. They will pay that to the municipality, but they collect their monies from the. I got. That should stop. But I get your point, Mr. Deputy Mayor. I misunderstood you there for a quick second. They pay that in form of a fee to the
municipality.
Okay, 100,000 Guyana dollars, when in fact you guys can be making way more than that. And so the private garbage collectors are the ones who are making the hundreds of millions of dollars by charging residents. We know what they're charging. But Mr. Deputy Mayor, I know we have a show tomorrow with some of your councillors. You guys hopefully will walk in certain parts of Georgetown. We will be there with you guys via Ben Shop Radio. We want to be able to talk to a couple of the other councillors as well. And maybe at some point in time, we'll get to talk to the mayor also of New Amsterdam, because you guys, the life of your deputy mayorship comes to an end on elections day. That's it.
Correct.
We don't
Correct.
yet know who will be the deputy mayor or who will be the mayor at this point in time. We don't know whether you will return as deputy mayor or as mayor. We just don't know as yet.
Correct.
Whatever it is, we want to wish you guys all the best. We will be back tomorrow morning live from New Amsterdam. We will be there. J.R. Crawford has promised to go down to New Amsterdam either by bus or bicycle or whatever, but we will go live from New Amsterdam with some of the councillors and so forth. In the event, sir, okay, before we go, I want you to touch on this beautiful, look at this. I'm being a bit facetious here, but this beautiful playground. Look at the grass. Oh, Mr. Deputy Mayor. How much Irfan Ali and all of these people pay taxpayers' money for this? About how much?
That's a very good question, Mark. That question is beyond my knowledge.
Look at the grass. Is that like real grass?
No, that's the artificial.
Oh, I thought because the PVP, they think that they're so smart. I thought this was remote control grass.
Actually, that very area there, Mark, that was a reservoir, right, to hold the water.
Yeah, and that's where they put a playground, and they have that remote control grass.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but look at, and you're correct about that. Look at what happened when a little bit of rainfall. Look, same place, same playground.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people from New Amsterdam are watching us right now, Mr. Deputy Mayor, and even those who are outside of New Amsterdam who may call their friends and say, hey, go out and vote on June 12th. And people in Georgetown will call their relatives and friends to do the same in Georgetown, and do the same in Linden, and do the same in Bartica and other places. But specifically, what is your message for people in New Amsterdam to go out and vote strongly for APNU PNC? Talk to them, convince them to go out and vote for you guys.
Yes, my message is very simple to all our residents in New Amsterdam, spanning the 7 constituencies. Vote, place your X at the right place. Place your X to a council that truly cares, the APNU councillors. We will continue to give of selfless service to the residents of New Amsterdam simply because we care. As I would have mentioned earlier, councillors do this because of the mere love for development in every constituency. And so we have a solid plan for New Amsterdam. All we're asking is for your support. Vote and make the right choice. The APNU councillors, the APNU team, we will continue to deliver, and we will conduct our affairs in an inclusive manner, with you, the residents, having full control in terms of decision making and how you wish to see New Amsterdam evolve come June 12th and after.
Well said, Mr. Deputy Mayor. Wainwright McIntosh is asking folks to go out there, to go out on June 12th and vote overwhelmingly for APNU PNC. Let us see some green stuff, some green heart, something green to show the appreciation for Wainwright McIntosh and his councillors who are on. Come on, guys, type in the green. The Deputy Mayor has his green there as well. You were about to say something else before we go, Mr. Deputy Mayor?
Yes. In addition to our manifesto, Mark, we recognize that the taxation system, there is need for improvement. And so we will be working assiduously to board the creation of an online system to make business easier for taxpayers and the general public. So our citizens of Guyana living in the US, we will make business easier for you. You leave Guyana, you go on vacation, you will be afforded the opportunity of conducting your business online. So we
And,
want
pe-
to
and
raise
people, even people from overseas want to know that their rates and taxes are paid up and their lands and their properties are still there intact and nobody's taking it and these sort of things.
exactly.
These things should be computerized. In fact, we're late on that, but I'm glad that is. I'm
And so
glad that that's what. Sorry, Mr. Deputy Mayor.
we will be working on creating a better transparent system of which all of our citizens will show appreciation for this greater level of transparency. As it relates to unoccupied lands with overgrowth, we will continue to address these issues.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. I want you to know that we, right here on 107.1 FM, we will hold you guys accountable.
Thank
We
you.
will be following you guys with all of the promises you are making now. And that is why we want the people to go out and vote for you guys, because the people have more trust and confidence in you and your party at this point in time. Please, I'm pleading with you guys. Do not disappoint the people. Go out there and work as their servants tirelessly. I have confidence that you guys will do that. Thank you so much, Mr. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you so much for having me, Mark.
Thank you, sir. All right, the Deputy Mayor there of New Amsterdam, Wainwright McIntosh. Look, the folks are not 100% perfect, but after all what the PPPC have been doing to the township, starving them of subvention, giving them 9 million, giving them a piece here, a little piece there, as though, like, come on. You guys see what's going on. But compare the subvention that they give to Rose Hall. Do you think they're going to go into Rose Hall and give Rose Hall 19 million or 18 million? Do you think they're going to give Corriverton 19 million or 18 million? But look at the township of New Amsterdam. They want to give $19 million to run them for the entire year. Does that make any sense? Surely it doesn't. Look at the rates and taxes that the ministries owe the city council. They do not pay their rates and taxes. The big businesses, many of whom are connected to the PPP, do not pay their rates and taxes. We know what's happening in Georgetown. We know what's happening in Linden. We know what's happening in other places. And do not be fooled that when Jack Dave and Irfan and all of them talk about, oh, the township, and they do not love the township. They do not love the people of New Amsterdam. They do not love the people of Georgetown or in Linden or in Bartica. Please do not be fooled at all. That's been enough for the night. I will be back tomorrow. In fact, we will be around New Amsterdam tomorrow. 107.1 FM will report live from New Amsterdam. Tomorrow morning, mid-morning, we will be broadcasting live. We will be talking with some of the other councillors there in New Amsterdam. But for now, hey, we love you, the people of New Amsterdam. Go out and vote. Go out and vote. Stop the complaining. Stop. Some of them are complaining that, oh, the coalition didn't do this to me and didn't do that. Look at it from a bigger picture. Look at it from a bigger picture. This time we got to hold them accountable. And we have no apologies to make right here on 107.1 FM. We will hold them accountable. We will ensure that they keep their promises. We can guarantee you that the wild set of folks in the PPP, they are just about corruption and racism and division. Ignore them. The few who are putting on the red T-shirts, just take a look at who they are. Take a look at who they are. The caliber of individuals. Do you trust them? Do you want to put your tongue in the hands of the likes of Barbara Pilgrim, the likes of some others that we see out in Linden, in Georgetown? Nope, absolutely not. Do not trust them. It is like the same thing what happened that our African ancestors were captured out of Africa and so forth. They were lured into something that they thought was nice. And then they were dragged onto the ships. And that's what's happening in New Amsterdam right now, Georgetown and Linden. They're luring these individuals, sweet talk and a little nice deal. And as soon as they get what they want, they are going to put the lash on everybody, including these people who are drinking soup. You think they like them? They don't like them at all. They are using them. And sadly, some of them love being used. I've got to go. Be back tomorrow morning, live from New Amsterdam. Live from New Amsterdam. We will be broadcasting live from New Amsterdam. But for now, my name is Mark Benchap. Thank you all. Thank you all. And farewell to Sarah Ann Lynch, U.S. Ambassador to Guyana. Farewell. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. God bless you all.
Hello, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm, located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
Basement level vibes with another one, straight up blackness. Aye, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, we have to gather round, grab a seat and sit down, pay attention. Education, liberation, we have to stand strong. Benskop upon the radio, lively up the program. Everybody call somebody and let them turn and tune and pon the radio and catch the boom song. We boom it up already, we have to boom it up again. Expose and reveal him. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up.